Hello, and welcome everybody to my Impact Wrestling Rebellion review. Got a lot of big things happening on the show tonight. Come here with another audio form tonight, and hopefully it's going to be really enjoyable for everyone to hear. It's a lot going on this pay-per-view tonight. Toronto, Ontario, back at the Rebel Complex Center. Stack card tonight. A lot of great build up to these matches in the past few months now, and a show I believe a lot of people were really looking forward to this weekend. But I know it was a couple match changes here and there, but we did kick it off with a six-way, I should say, a scramble with the X Division, which I feel like that's like the beginning of almost every Impact pay-per-view. We always got to send the X Division out there first. Don Callis and Josh Matthews were on commentary. We kicked it off with Petey Williams, Aiden Prince, Ace Austin, Jake Diener, which I don't believe is a X Division, but hey, X Division is no limits. Jake Christ and Eddie Edwards, which, you know, the weird thing about Eddie Edwards being in this match, I should say, is, you know, the whole, like I said in the review from last Friday, that I do believe he was supposed to be in a match with Eli Drake, if I'm not mistaken, since he had turned on him about a couple weeks ago. But with Eli Drake leaving the company, now I guess they just kind of had to scrap the whole thing pretty much, because where were they going to go with this whole feud? Eli Drake left. I'm sure it was going to be a match between him and Eddie Edwards at Rebellion. But with Eli Drake leaving the company, I guess they just threw Eddie Edwards in this scramble match just for the fuck of it, I guess. That what other choice did they had? Did I want to see that match though? Still, yeah, I would have wanted to see it, but nope, didn't that happen at all, folks? Gone, scrapped. But yeah, since that was scrapped from there, Eddie Edwards being in the six-way scramble, what do I have to say about this? Of course, this was going to be a spot fest as you expected. Everybody's just pretty much going crazy moves on each other that I cannot even name all of them. But the crowd was with it. It pretty much ended up with Petey Williams hitting a Canadian Destroyer on... Who did he hit a Canadian Destroyer on? Yes, he hit a Canadian Destroyer on... I think it was... what was it? Jake Diener. Yeah, he hit a Canadian Destroyer on him. But Ace Austin pretty much rolled up Petey Williams to get the win from at that point, which... I can see why this match happened. Yeah, it was kind of random throwing everybody in here in a six-way scramble. But if you did pay attention to last Friday's show, they pretty much have, I guess, a feud going on right now with Ace Austin and Petey Williams. As, you know, Austin went against, was that Aiden Prince guy, and he pretty much kept beating him up after that. Petey Williams had made the save in there, was going to do Canadian Destroyer on Ace Austin last Friday, but Ace Austin got out of there. So tonight, Ace Austin pretty much got the win over Petey Williams right here to win this six-way, which, you know, this still builds up their singles feud when you look at it. So expect this feud to continue. But, you know, it's a crazy spot fest match. Not bad. Crowd was with it, so I got no problem with that. They also talked about their, I guess their streaming service, Impact Plus, which is supposed to happen in May. Now, because, you know, Impact Plus is this. This is pretty much, you can just watch all the episodes of Impacts, Explosions, pay-per-views, bonus events, and everything, which was pretty much the same thing as the GWN network. But I guess this is pretty much a relaunch and rebranding of it, because I don't think a lot of people were caring about the Global Wrestling Network. That's what it was called. It's best to get rid of the name and just name it Impact. It's pretty much the same thing. Now, I don't know what it means for people that may already have the GWN Network, because if they already have it now, does that pretty much get moved over to the Impact Plus? Because I don't think people want to pay another $9 after, which I'm assuming is $9 for Impact Plus anyways, but I don't think they want to pay another $9 for something they've already paid and already had. But like I said, it's best that they rebranded it and got rid of Global Wrestling Network, GWN, because I'm sure a lot of people are saying it still has to do with that horrible Global Force Wrestling thing, which I'm sure they want to get rid of it in general. Listen, Jeff Jarrett can do whatever the fuck he wants with his Global Force Wrestling. If this is just a way to rebrand it and get rid of it so he can go on and keep his little dead company, I got no problem with that. So if they can rebrand it and, try to get people to buy it, then good for them to have a better streaming service, which, like I said, I'm pretty much sure it's going to be the same thing as the Global Wrestling Network. I could be wrong. There's probably more changes, and they probably done more to do with it. But hey, as long as you get anything that's to do with Global Force Wrestling and everything, which they never really, it was mostly the color scheme, pretty much. It was the color scheme because it was green, and if Global Force Wrestling uses that green color scheme. Impact mostly uses blue in their color scheme when you look at it. But yes, their color scheme is blue. And, I will say this. When they do rebrand it, and it should be in the next few days pretty much on May the 1st. So hopefully it's a better way to control the whole app so people will be able to watch the show or however they watch it on there. I never bought it. Really, I did see what it looked like, but I knew there was a lot of technical problems on there, and I've seen people complain about it. Even when it first came out, there was already some type of crash or something that was going on with it. So hopefully they know what to do this time, and like I said, it's best they just rebranded the whole thing and have their own name instead of keeping remnants of the dead Global Force Wrestling or, whatever you want to call it. But moving on from them and their app, another match that was pretty much added at the last minute today, which was supposed to be a live smoke show with Scarlett Bordeaux. But I guess something happened on Twitter with one of the Desi Hit Squad members, Rohit Raju, which pretty much ended up with a match with Scarlett Bordeaux and Raju, because Fallah Bahh was out there with the rest of the, what was it? The Desi Hit Squad. Let me just say one thing. Fallah Bahh look like he has lost a lot of weight nowadays, okay? This dude used to look like way bigger, but this guy is just moving all agile now. Like, he's lost a lot of weight and almost kind of getting jacked out there, too. Like, I knew this guy was moving real fast on Impact the other night. This guy was doing suicide dives and everything for a man his size. So, he looks like he's lost a lot of weight. Okay, this guy looked like he dropped a ton. Let me just kind of point that out there because this dude was moving better than he did when he first came into Impact Wrestling. So, good for him out there. But, the match itself between her and Rohit Raju, not a bad match, really. You kind of knew Scarlett Bordeaux was going to win with this. She pretty much won with was like a dude buster she does, and beat Rohit Raju. So I'm sorry if I say his name wrong, but she pretty much beat him from there. So it wasn't really nothing bad about or anything. The people were with Scarlett Bordeaux anyways. So I never really expected her to lose. I don't know what happens after this, but I guess we'll see what happens. Next, Moose, Josh Alexander, or Ethan Page, or other known as the North, went against the Rascals, Zachary Wentz, Trey Miguel, and Desmond Xavier. Crazy spot fest matchup out here. Of course, the Rascals are gonna fly all over the place. I did like it. I think it was Wentz that did like a dive on the outside of the ring, and Moose caught him into a powerbomb position, throws him into the corner. He throws him to the corner of the barricade. Next, one of the Rascals jump off the North's back off top of the ramp onto the outside on everybody, and then into the corner of the outside ring, just doing a big flip dive, which was pretty cool. Also, people were chanting, walking weapon, because of Josh Alexander, which I will say the finish was pretty cool because the North did their new team finisher. I don't really know the name of it. I just saw it pretty much a week ago or two. Pretty much on Desmond Xavier. Pretty much right after that, Moose hit him with his spear. Even though it looked like that spear looked very botched for some reason. When you see another replay, Moose flips when he does a spear. But I swear Desmond Xavier looked like he didn't even get hit at one point, which I had to look at again. I'm like, you sure this guy got hit by the spear? Like, it was still a cool combo, but it never looked like he hit him. That was just kind of strange to me when he did that and Taya Spear. But the Moose and North pretty much pick up the win right here. Which I kind of knew they were winning because I don't think they want the North losing right now since they just got into the company, especially Josh Alexander and their team right now. So we got to make them look strong also. And Moose is pretty much beating all the Rascals now at this point, all three of them. He didn't beat Desmond Xavier, in the singles match and everything, but he did get him in the tag match since he kept saying he was ganged up by the Rascals and everything. But a good 6-man tag from there. Melissa Santos was in the back interviewing Johnny Impact and Taya as they were talking about their opponents tonight, from Brian Cage and Jordan Grace. Valkyrie pretty much said Jordan Grace's unbeaten streak has begun to end tonight and that she will lose. Pretty much going into the Knockouts Championship match between Taya and Jordan Grace after that. Good match, I will say that. A lot of cool spots out there. Mostly Valkyrie was focusing on Jordan Grace's arm, knocking to the turnbuckle, beating it several times, which, trying to weaken Jordan Grace from trying to do her power moves on him, which was pretty cool. She did, like, powerbombing Taya into the apron, powerbombing into the ring. She did do the Grace driver, but it looked like her arm gave out, so it pretty much got, for the near fall in. Even hit a muscle buster, but still could not get the win on her from there. She was gonna go for another Grace driver after that, but her arm gave out on her. Taya pretty much hit the road to Valhalla for the win. Pretty much getting a clean win, might I say, also. So Taya, really not a dirty win from there. Was still a heel tactic, but yeah, she pretty much got a clean win over Grace, pretty much, I guess, into her, undefeated streak. But a very enjoyable match. I did like it. I'm sure they're gonna have another match in the future when this happens, and everything. We just remember, Jordan's arm gave out during this match, so pretty much that was one of the main focuses of it, and that's what pretty much, stopped her in the end from even winning the championship, which pretty much gave Taya the advantage to hit the road to Valhalla and win the match. But I don't think this feud is over. I'm sure it's going to continue, or we will move on to the next person. I'm not really sure, but we will see about that. Of course, they got to play. I think this was supposed to be the Philadelphia Arena this Friday or Saturday. I actually thought RVD was showing up on the show tonight. That's what I thought he was going to wrestle. I don't know why, but they kept hyping him up so many times. I didn't know what. I expect him to make an appearance on this show tonight, but he did not. But I guess, like I said, they'll see him at the Philadelphia Arena this Friday and Saturday. X Division Championship on the line. Rich Swann versus Sami Callihan and an OVE rules match. Callahan came out with Madman Fulton as, Fulton carried him on his shoulders, but he sent Madman Fulton back to the back. Rich Swann came out then, no dancing this time, no having a good time and everything. Pretty much had a new jacket and pretty much walked out there, pretty much very serious this time. Pretty much both of these two immediately start brawling with each other. They had a staple gun, which Swann was able to use the staple gun on. He used a staple gun on Sami Callihan, which he pretty much uses back on him too, stapling him in the face with it. Next thing you know, these guys are pretty much have trash cans, chairs, hitting each other with cookie sheets at one point throughout the match. They pretty much hit cookie sheets throughout the match. Callihan, he pretty much hits Rich Swann with one of the cookie sheets after Swann tried to dive on the outside of the ring. Did not work. He started looking the title then. Callihan was pretty much trying to go for a pile driver on him, but it did not work. They pretty much had a guardrail on the ramp. Swann and Callihan pretty much fought up to the ramp then, which Swann pretty much had used one of the metal parts on the side of the stage as what's the word I'm looking for right here? I'm gonna say advantage, but leverage really to hit a Hurricane Rana on him on the stage. Then even going pretty much doing a handspring off the ropes, hitting him with a lethal injection after that. What else did he hit after that? He tried to get him with a I'm trying to remember the movie. Yeah, because he pretty much knocked him on the side of the ring. I do know that, and kind of went for a swan time. He tried to pick Callahan up, but Callahan had hit Swan with a chair right after that, and then he pretty much hit him with a, which I thought this was pretty cool. I'm trying to, like I said, I try to remember spot by spot here, but oh yeah, he started hitting him with wet floor signs, which was pretty funny. I will say that wet floor signs. He just started beating him with it, but after Swan did have Callahan on the guardrail, though it did not work. Callahan was on it, but Callahan got out of the way. He low blow Rich Swan, pile drives him onto the guardrail. Then fans chant "Holy shit!" as Sammy pretty much threw Swan back in the ring. Next thing you know, he has a giant Lego block. What is with Sammy Callahan and giant Lego blocks? It's like every time I see now more of his hardcore matches, instead of thumbtacks, he's got Lego blocks. I don't know. And don't get me wrong, Legos hurt if you land on them or hit it the wrong way. It can be very painful. But I'm sitting there wondering, what is with the Lego blocks? Which he's got one big Lego, and then next thing you know, he opens the big Lego, and then there's a whole bunch of small Legos all over the place now. Okay, lots and lots of small Legos. Fans chant, "You sick fuck, you sick fuck." Callahan, I guess, I guess he was going to try to power drive Swan onto the Legos, but he was pretty much on the top rope. Swan pretty much Hurricane Rana him onto the Legos, then to the floor, which, Callahan pretty much was in pain. Swan got to the top rope, but Callahan threw some powder at him on the top rope, then hit him with a power driver onto the Legos into the middle rope. Which still looked really painful too, so they both got hit with it. Callahan had a barbed wire baseball bat then. One thing I will say was kind of nasty throughout one of these spots was when Callahan spit at Swan, and Swan took the spit and licked it. You could just see all the yellow stuff on his tongue then. That was kind of nasty. But after he got the baseball bat then, Swan spat at him then. Pretty much Swan was able to get the bat. Callahan pretty much begged him, saying he loved him and everything, but pretty much Rich Swan took the barbed wire baseball bat, hit him with a crossface on it, pretty much laughing after that, pretty much getting the win over Sammy Callahan. I don't know if this feud ends, but a really good match though, both these guys. Of course, it was a lot of crazy hardcore stuff out there since this was OVE rules and everything. It was some cool spots on there. I still think the Lego thing is a little bit ridiculous. I still kind of find it funny, but it's ridiculous at the same time, where I'm wondering, like, what is with Rich Swan and Legos? I'm trying to understand that, okay? Like, I get the story they've been going out there, which was pretty, it's been pretty interesting with the story they've been having, but I don't know if this is over or not, or maybe it is for all I know. Because was this the final thing for these two going on, and Sammy Callahan moves on to something else, or I'm not sure if this thing continues with him and Swan. All I know is that Swan still retained the championship. I actually thought Callahan was gonna win this one, just given what's been going on, but Rich Swan retains. So I don't know if this feud continues or not, but we shall see. Melissa Santos was interviewing Tessa Blanchard in the back as she talked about Gail Kim, and that, Gail said she could teach her some respect, but Blanchard says she knows about respect. She's earned respect. Her grandfather is a Hall of Famer, and her dad is a 2-time Hall of Famer, and Tessa Blanchard says, I once looked up to Gail Kim, but that respect ended when Gail Kim put her hands on her and cost her the Knockouts championship. And she's going to teach her in a lesson in regret. Next thing you know, Four Horsemen member Tully Blanchard shows up, which was a pretty nice surprise, I will say that. Her dad pretty much hugged her, and they say he couldn't miss the biggest match of her career, and he's going to be sitting at ringside, and that her words were the truth, and that, you come from a family that's earned respect, and you're going to fulfill your destiny and show Gail Kim what it's all about. So I was very surprised to see Tully Blanchard, but when we got to Gail Kim versus Tessa Blanchard next, of course, her husband was out there, Gail Kim's, Robert Irvine, Robert Irvine, the guy that runs that show on Food Network, the Celebrity Chef. This was a really good match, and this is one of the matches I was really looking for. This has been a really great build, I will say that, especially with these two making it personal. They pretty much jawing at each other. Gail Kim pretty much knocks Tessa into the ring post, immediately stepping on her several times, trying to go for a figure four, but it did not work, which she did on the apron, by the way, on Tessa Blanchard. Both women pretty much start brawling with each other then. After that, Gail Kim pretty much said, screw you, hitting... pretty much going hitting a crossbody from the top rope, near fall. Fans chanted, "You still got it" to Gail Kim, which I even say sometime, when did this girl ever lose it? I know she's not in the ring a lot nowadays, but when did she ever lose it? One crazy spot was when Tessa had picked up Gail Kim and they were on the apron, pretty much hits her with a full Nelson release fall, which knocks all the way onto the ground from the top of the ramp. So it's a pretty high fall when you look at it. As Tess pretty much threw her back into the ring then. She tried to go for the slingshot suplex, but Gail Kim pretty much dodged to hit the eat the feet. Pretty much a 2 count then. Crowd was going nuts for it. Pretty much both women started hitting each other then. After that, Tessa... What did Tessa do? She pretty much on the middle rope and pretty much picked up Gail Kim over there. Pretty much tossed her into the ring after that. She went for her... What's that move? It's the giant code breaker from the top rope. The Magnum, which he hits the Magnum, gets the 2 count, but immediately puts her into a submission crossface. Gail Kim tried to reach the ropes, but Tessa rolled over, pretty much making Gail Kim tap out after that. A very good match they had out there. I think they had about 13 minutes. So, very great match, very enjoyable. Pretty much then right after that, after Tessa hugged her dad, she pretty much got in the ring with Gail Kim, looked at her, but, as Gail Kim got up, Tessa pretty much shook her hand, and they hugged after that. I guess they were saying something, and they started crying then, as Tessa gave pretty much a bow, to Gail Kim, which, Gail Kim was still in the ring. Fans chanted, "Thank you, Gail," as her music played after that. So I don't know if this is the last time we'll see Gail Kim in the ring, to be honest. I do feel like she'll be back one day again. I don't know when, but whatever feud happens, I'm sure Gail Kim will be back to wrestle again. Now, I do say, I kind of expected this feud to keep continuing, though. I didn't really expect it to end like that. I did enjoy the match, don't get me wrong. It was really great, but it was just kind of with the whole crying and handshake. I was waiting for Tessa Blanchard just to knock Gail Kim on the ground again so we could continue this feud. Or even when Gail Kim was at the top of the ramp getting ready to walk backstage, Tessa was going to, attack her. But I guess how they put this was going to be a passing of the torch and end it from there. So that's what it looked like, that, she passed the torch to Tessa Blanchard, now saying, "You are the new generation now," pretty much. But I did expect this to continue, to be honest. I didn't really expect they were going to, have this respect thing going on. Like, hey, we respect each other now. Even though, hey, you went to my husband's restaurant and start breaking up everything, looking for him, and, causing a lot of damages and stuff. But hey, I'm still gonna shake hand and forgive you. And, Tessa attacked Gail Kim for months, which they two made it personal. So I didn't really think it was gonna end on that type of note. I expect this to go in Slammiversary, to be honest. I would say keep this feud continuing, but I guess that's not gonna happen. So there you go, folks. But still, overall great match in general. They played promo packages for both Brian Cage and Johnny Impact for a world title matchup next, which at first I was thinking, which I was tripping right here. I thought this was the main event at first, because at one point I said, did the LAX versus Lucha Brothers match happen already, or am I tripping? Until I kind of figured out they were going to be the main event then, because I'm like, wait, we're doing the world title match now? And I was looking really confused for a second, like, what is going on? But the world title match was now. Brian Cage came out, of course, like the Terminator. Johnny Impact came out, having both Taya and Johnny Bravo out there, which immediately is the bell rang after that. Cage pretty much went into Impact on him into the corner, hit him with a spear, pretty much, dominating the first half of the match, hit him with a suplex from the outside of the ring to the inside, which looked pretty cool. As Cage pretty much dominated after that, dominated and everything. Impact was able to pretty much knock Cage down, hit him with a moonsault, like standing moonsault after that, which he, like I said, he got some offense on him from there because Cage was just kicking the crap out of him. Now we gotta get to this. This is where we gotta get to the spot where it gets to the outside of the ring then, because some people thought, and as they said, Cage had back problems after this. Because you could tell he was moving a little bit slower. Impact hit like a Spanish fly on on Cage to the outside of the ring where both of them, landed, which it did look kind of brutal, and people thought Cage was actually really hurt from after this. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't, but if you kind of look at it, he did look kind of hurt when that Spanish fly happened, and as the match went on kind of later, which you could just hear a lot of talking, I guess, to make sure that he was okay. I don't know if they were calling spots from there and that, but I guess they were trying to check on Cage after that, which they did get back in the ring. Impact started, dominating Cage. Then after that, they got a table, Taya and Johnny Bravo, which they were going to put Cage on through the table, but Johnny knocked Cage to the outside of the ring. He had him on the table, and I guess was going to hit a moonsault, Starship Pain. But Cage pretty much grabbed him, powerbomb Johnny Impact through the table, and throws him back into the ring. Bravo pretty much tried to, grab Cage's leg, which, Cage put Bravo in the ring. And then after that, and hit him with a forearm. He was going to go for a power bomb, but Johnny Impact had the title and was going to hit him with it, but Lance Storm was right there, was going to take it. He took it away from him. He tried to take it away from him. Storm pretty much ducked because Impact had swung the title then after that, and he pretty much hit Cage in the back of the head, and Storm pretty much got knocked down by Impact after that, which there was a lot of blood, and let me say that too. There was like blood everywhere from Brian Cage all over the place. And as Lance Storm was on the ground then, pretty much Impact and Taya in the ring, which it looked like he's trying to pull Eddie Guerrero after that, because he throws the title at Taya saying, she did it, I didn't hit you, she did it. Cage pretty much powerbombs Taya, which you don't really see nothing like that nowadays. After he powerbombed Taya, Impact had the title, he hit Cage with the belt again, pretty much through his head this time. Johnny Bravo pretty much got in the ring, took off his suit shirt and had a referee shirt on. And Impact hit the Starship Pain, which he missed the entire move, okay? He did not even hit Cage. Go back and look at it. When he did Starship Pain, he missed the whole thing, okay? Don't get me wrong, I've seen him miss some, and don't get me wrong, there's many times he has missed that move and it looked horrible, but this was one of these times where it looked horrible, okay? Go back and look when he did Starship Pain. He didn't even hit him. It didn't even hit him, all right? He just completely overshot it and missed the whole move, which it had a 2 count though. But I keep saying James Storm. Lance Storm then got back in, super kicked Johnny Bravo, which he was going to get a DQ, but Cage says don't do it. Cage pretty much hit the drill claw on him, which I didn't think that was even that good of a drill claw, and won the title from there, becoming a new champion, pretty much making it clean. And, as soon as Brian Cage, I want to say more of this before I kind of give my thoughts on the match, but as soon as he pretty much won the match, then someone else's music hits. Next thing you know, Michael Elgin, fresh from New Japan Pro Wrestling, comes out, having a stare down with him, which I think someone said, Don Cal said these two were teammates before. What he called the Unbreakable Machines. Him and Cage started talking about each other. Elgin was going to leave, but he pretty much punched Cage and then hit him with the Elgin bomb after that, and pretty much looked at the title and held it over his head. As Callis and him said, now we know why he left New Japan Pro Wrestling. Okay, first off, that Spanish Fly was brutal, and I guess some people were wondering why there was, like I said before, there was a lot of talking to see if Cage was hurt on that, but it like he was still going. Was this match overbooked in a way? Yes, it was, just from Taya getting involved, and Johnny Bravo gets involved, and then the title shot at Cage's head, and Lance Storm's got hit a super kick, which he still made a clean finish. And to be honest, I didn't really think Brian Cage was gonna win the title after what I saw on Impact last Friday with him getting the win in that 6-man tag. That pretty much told me he was going to lose from there. So I really expected Johnny Impact to win and continue his title reign, but I guess that was not gonna be the case, and they finally pulled the trigger on Cage at this point and everything. But I expected Impact to actually retain the belt to go over Cage. I didn't really think he was actually going to win this one. I didn't actually think he was going to win from that point. So I was somewhat surprised to see that. Excuse me. Yeah, he pretty much won from at that point, though. Kind of repeating myself right there. But like I said, Cage getting the win right here, which, I think it was someone now or never, and they pulled the trigger on him. But I did not expect Michael Elgin to come out. Like, I knew he left New Japan not that long ago. I swear it was maybe at least 2 or 3 weeks ago he just left New Japan Pro Wrestling for whatever reason. To what I heard, it was like mutual agreement between both parties. So I guess we now know where Michael Elgin is in right now. Impact. Some people thought he was going to WWE. Some people thought he was going to AEW or wherever. Listen, I don't know. Listen, I don't hate Michael Elgin. And don't get me wrong, that was recently when people were pretty much shitting on Michael Elgin at one point, calling him an adulterous piece of shit. Because I don't know. It was something to do with one of these accusation type of things. And which I think he never really did it. But it was... I'm trying to remember the story. It's been a while, but I think it was some woman that was pretty much talking about Elgin, that I guess she had text messages that, I don't know, he was an adulterous piece of shit, that he was covering for somebody doing this, but he didn't protect the wrestler that was a woman. But people question why she never went to the cops first. Listen, it's a whole story. I just remember at one point people were saying, fuck Michael Elgin, the guy's a rapist, he's a piece of shit, which at one point it looked like he didn't even get any work in America because nobody didn't want to work with him. They didn't. They was like, we're cutting ties to Michael Elgin. I remember in Chicago when he was over here, I think he was the reason why Naito was able to get over here at one point. And I remember seeing videos of people turning their backs on Michael Elgin because they did not want to see him wrestle. Like, they legitimately just like turned their backs and just like, fuck Michael Elgin. And they just hated him and everything for the situation that went on. Like I said, I don't remember the whole thing from now. I just kind of going off my head to what I just kind of remember from that, because people saying he's an adulterous piece of shit, he's a cheater, he's a rapist, even though he was never arrested or anything. Which, like I said, he never really did anything. He just I think he was just involved in it, and it was part of his wrestling school, and it turned out really bad. And the weird thing about him leaving New Japan is that he was just returned from New Japan not that long ago, because I think he was out with injury, and I just remember returning back to the New Japan Cup last month, and I know he lost that first round against Okada and everything, because the guy almost feel he loses Okada all the time. So I don't know what Michael Elgin was really doing after that whole New Japan Cup. He just kept showing up in matches, and the next thing you know, I just found out he leaves. So it's in Canada, it's Impact, so this will work for him here. And I'm sure, with him being there going against Cage, it's going to be two big dudes beating the living crap out of each other, jacked to the freaking gills. So that is very interesting to watch, and that Michael Elgin's here now. We'll see where this goes with him in Impact Wrestling, because I knew he wasn't going to go back to Ring of Honor. Visa issues, I guess. And like I said, AEW, WWE, I don't know where you would have gone. I just didn't really expect Michael Elgin to show up here tonight. But they also announced Slammiversary will be taking place July 7th at Dallas, Texas. So watch out for that. I know some people have already pointed out tonight that during that entire weekend, NJPW will be doing their thing at the American Airlines Arena or Center in Dallas, because they have the G1 Climax, which will begin on that day, and I guess the next day will be Impact after that, when July comes around during, I guess, the 4th of July holiday weekend, as some people want to call it. So that must be the thing for that. Like I said, Slammiversary, I didn't even know if Slammiversary was going this year, but some people are saying right now it's going to be on the same weekend as NJPW. So I guess NJPW will be on Saturday, and Impact will be on Sunday, and I'm sure Don Callis will have to commentate on both shows when that happens. But we'll see what comes from that then, since that was announced tonight. But the main event, though, since it was not the world title match, it was going to be the tag title match, which, in a way, I'm not surprised it's the main event just because it's the Lucha Brothers and LAX, and these two teams just go insane on each other out there, which most likely was going to be the best match of the night anyways, just giving these two in a Full Metal Mayhem match. This was insanity, okay? And I can't even name you every spot. I'm just trying to go by a few to what I saw out there, but these spots was just insane, okay? But yes, insanity, which, like I said, I can't name you every spot that happened. Just right off the bat right there, these guys were just going insane on each other, okay? But even on the outside of, what was it? On the outside of the ring, there was some tables set up. Lucha Brothers pretty much hit double flip dives to the outside of the ring, knocking LAX into both tables. Right beside the barricade. One crazy spot was when LAX pretty much they had Phoenix on the top rope, which it was almost like they had him set up for a cutter, and there was some chairs right there. But Ortiz was holding his head. Santana pretty much hits a double stomp to the back of Phoenix's head, knocking him into the chairs. Then after that, it's like a cutter, which looked pretty insane. Pretty much hyping up the fans. Then after that, LX got a ladder into the ring, pinning Phoenix. Holy shit, they pretty much they put the chairs in the ring, right? And they pretty much start hitting the crap out in that slap, but knocking each other forearms after that they were just sitting there. Pretty much putting out Phoenix, throw the chairs at LAX, doing the Sierra Medio thing after that, but then LAX throw some chairs right back into them after they tried to go off the ropes then with the chairs after that, knocking each other all to the ground. Pentagon Phoenix, they did their double kick thing, which they were going to do uno, dos, tres, but they said, no, let's wait a second. And then they put the trash can over Santana's head, double super kicking him into the face then after that when he had it on him, which was pretty cool. Pentagon pretty much had Santana then. This spot, it was like, 8 chairs right there, LAX set up, and pretty much, I guess they were going to put Phoenix through it, but Pentagon came for the save. Phoenix pretty much double stomped on Ortiz to the outside of the ring, and then Penta held him Santana for the Penta driver or the Fear Factor. Pretty much double stomped Fear Factor, and then after Phoenix pretty much double stomped Santana into the chairs. Pretty much another 2 count after that, which was just another insane match. Not insane match, but another insane spot. What the fuck else happened? I think they had another table on the ramp after that. And this is where they start climbing. And this spot was scary. I thought Phoenix killed himself right here, okay? Because I guess they were gonna powerbomb Pentagon through the table, like where the ramp is, because the ladder's set up right there. Phoenix just does like a top rope, walking on the top rope right there, and then hits a Spanish fly on Ortiz onto the table. If you go back and look at that spot, Phoenix just lands on his head, okay? He literally lands smack dab on the head and his shoulders. That is like the last time you will see him in this match, okay? That's the last time you will see him in the match after that. He was dead after that, which I was surprised he could even get up. Don't get me wrong, Ortiz still did hit the fall the fall, everything flipping on him, but when Phoenix hit that Spanish fly, he literally looked like he could have cracked his freaking skull open up, severely hurt his shoulders. Hopefully he was okay, but he was just, I did not really even see him in the rest of the match after this. He was just dead after that. But Pentagon pretty much hit the pin driver on Santana on a chair, which Santana kicked up after that. Next thing you know, he had the ladder set up. He had the table set up in the ring. Next thing you know, he put the tacks on there as people chanting, "You sick fuck," at Pentagon Jr. after that. And before he could do anything, Santana took some tacks and threw it in the Pentagon's face, trying to set him up onto the table as he climbed the ladder. But Penta climbed up the ladder, and then they started punching each other. Ortiz pretty much came in and climbed up underneath the ladder and powerbombed Pentagon right through the table, which I think he only hit one of the tables, though. Broke one of them with all the thumb tacks on there, pretty much getting the win after that. So LAX becoming 4-time Impact, 4-time tag team champions out there. insanity match, okay? Just craziness from out there, which was just going all over the place. I'm just naming spots what I can, but my God, that was like Phoenix finally came back in after, trying to help Pentagon up, but he was dead after that Spanish fly to the outside of the ring when he landed just damn nearly on his head. It looked really brutal to watch, so like I said, hopefully he's okay from after that. But it's Conan pretty much says, all right, we're all together now. This is done. We squash it. All right, Lucha Brothers, LAX on 3, okay? Which even Ortiz said, why we gotta say Lucha Brothers, first, Conan says, because I said so, okay? So they all pretty much agreed. They hugged each other. All the faces of the locker room come out for some reason. I didn't really understand that. Rascals, Swan, Madison Rain, all of them. They pretty much all applauded LAX and the Lucha Brothers after that just insane match out there. One thing they did say that Taylor Wilde, which I haven't heard that name in a long time from Impact Wrestling, also Taylor Wilde, so they believe they said she was backstage there tonight. Wow, I haven't seen Taylor Wilde since maybe 2010, I think it was the last time I really saw her, or 2011. But I remember Taylor Wilde in like that 07 to 2010-11 time frame, if you want to go off from that. Excuse me. If you want to go off from that. So it's kind of the last time I saw Taylor Wilde from there. But pretty much as all the faces came out and celebrated, LAX held the titles up, pretty much closing the show after that. So insanity match with this Full Metal Mayhem. Very enjoyable. Just great in general. Overall, this was a very good show. I did enjoy it. I did like the main event, of course. I thought the X Division title was pretty good. I'm trying to see what else else happened after that. Gail versus Tesla was a really great match. I did like the world title match, even though I felt it was a little bit too much overbooking near the end of it, and I don't think people are really sure on Brian Cage's condition after he got hit by that Spanish fly out there. So I don't know. That just it was just overbooked in that world title match, though. Like I said, the tag match was insane in the end. The main event, just insanity. So that was really good. Like I said, I enjoyed Gail and Tessa. The Knockouts title match was a good match too. Swan versus Callahan was pretty good. Moose, like I said, Moose in the North going against the Rascals was a spot fest, but good. Like I said, it was a really good show. I can't say it was really that bad. Don't get me wrong, I had some buffering issues here and there when watching this show, but this was not a bad show in general. I thought this was a really good show, and I would say if whenever you have any time, this is worth your watch. I do agree. It's worth a watch, all right? Just given by some of the matches I just named from there. But it was pretty good. I don't know how good the crowd was mic'd up with. I felt at one point at the time I could not really hear the crowd and what they were doing. You could hear them, but it was either that or they just weren't as enthusiastic as you expected them to be out there. But I could be wrong for all I know. But like I said, overall, a very good show for Rebellion tonight. I did like it. We'll see. We guess what happens on the next set of tapings on Friday and everything. Hope they get a better TV deal by that time comes. But like I said, I did enjoy this show. It was good. If you have any chance, take any time of the day out of your busy schedule and, check this out. Some pretty good matches up there. Like I said, it's some pretty good wrestling this weekend for what I say, between Rebellion and a little bit of the Crockett Cup here and there, which it had its dose. The same thing with Impact with Rebellion, but they did have a stacked card with some really good build up. And I just thought they had some really good matches though. I would say that maybe one or two great ones, but everything else about the show was pretty good. I can't say it was that bad in general technically. Maybe on a couple decisions here and there, just to what I saw, but this was a very good show in general. Now, some things I thought would have been different, but hey, I guess we gotta wait and see what happens, and whenever that happens, okay? But I'm gonna go from here. Check out my review for Impact. Check out anything else. Comment, subscribe, YouTube, anything, Master Price 890. Check out any other past reviews I have done, or even my Impact Wrestling review from Friday, as we had a preview for Rebellion. But overall, if you get a chance, watch the show. It's worth it. Check it out. And it was a pretty good pay-per-view tonight, okay? A very, very good pay-per-view. So I'm gonna go from here. Just tell me what you think about that show tonight, huh? I'm out of here. I will see you guys later. Peace out.